Well, thank you all. Good afternoon. First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here in the audience. I mean, you guys, I really appreciate and I value the time that you put in to this process, the careful consideration that you devote to electing the best possible leaders in government. Thank you for the time that you take to do that. Because there are many people we run into, certainly on the campaign trail, who don't pay attention to things, don't know when the next election is, and really we need good people out there voting their interests, so we do have good government. I also very much appreciate and never want to take for granted the support of my family. With me today is my wife of 18 years, Star. My daughter, Elisa. My Aunt Carol. My Aunt Roseanne. My dad, Eugene. And Doris McLean. And I have to tell you, they all have very challenging schedules. As we were trying to put this whole thing together, I think it was of less of an issue of what the congressman's schedule was than it was to try and line up my family members to be here today. So I thank them for all their love and support and balancing those challenging schedules around some needs that I have. So thank you to all of them. I want to thank Congressman Holden and Representative Neil Goodman for their confidence that they've demonstrated in me today with their endorsement of my candidacy for Senate. Certainly Congressman Holden and Representative Goodman are extraordinary government leaders. We know that. We know the good things that they've done in government. But these two gentlemen are leaders in the community. They've done a lot of work that's not necessarily legislative work on behalf of people in their districts, even long before taking office. And I just appreciate all the work that they've done, even outside of government. The things that they've done have helped people. And that's what this is all about, helping people. I want to help champion the issues that are important to people, important to our area. I'm, again, very honored to have been able to work with them professionally in the past, and I look forward to working with them in the future to help people. There was a woman who came to my office one time who had cancer, and because her coverage was suspended in the middle of her cancer treatment, she came to my office. And because I was able to work with Congressman Holden, we had that cancer treatment restored, and she was able to resume treatment against a terrible disease because of his work. Congressman Holden certainly has also been an incredible advocate and an ally for all the firefighters in this part of the state. I greatly appreciate and respect the working relationship that we've had in the past to help all the people in 125th Legislative District. And I talk about that story about the woman who came with the cancer and the work that was done with the firefighters. But that's only a snippet of the body of work that the congressman has completed on behalf of people, to help people. I've certainly had an opportunity, as Representative Goodman put it, to work shoulder to shoulder with him on pressing legislative issues like property taxes, like transportation, and certainly like Marcellus Shale. But we've also helped constituents with just everyday concerns. People who needed to replace their car registration renewal form so that they could get to work. Like constituents who needed to replace a birth certificate so that they could sign up for Little League. Those are the kinds of everyday concerns that we were also able to help people with. During my time in the House, there's a few of the people who had worked for me in my legislative office here today. We had a tremendous cooperative and collaborative relationship with Representative Goodman's office that I certainly look forward to renewing as a Pennsylvania senator. And that relationship helped people. And that's what this campaign's all about. It's about helping people, championing the interests of the people, to try and restore and preserve opportunities for people in the 29th Senate District. I want that typical person out there in the 29th Senate District that may not have a lot of resources, that may not know who to turn to with this difficulty that they have in their life. Somebody who may be one of the most vulnerable people in the 29th District. I want them to be able to turn to me as their senator and know that I'm going to be their advocate. Since I left the General Assembly, kindergarten through 12th grade education has lost $1 billion in funding. 14,000 jobs across the state, from bus drivers to cafeteria workers to teachers, have all been lost. And that's a direct result of the inaction of the Pennsylvania Senate on the Marcellus Shale bill. Representative Goodman and I supported that bill. We talked for it on the floor. We helped pass that bill out of the House twice, in 2009 and 2010. And on both occasions it went and sat in the Senate, and it never moved. Because that bill never moved, because of the inaction in the Senate, the state has lost $750 million that we could have used to preserve some of those opportunities that I talked about in education. We could have done other things for our transportation and infrastructure. There's so many opportunities that were lost because that bill never moved. There's a lot of kindergartners, college kids, and civilian workers across the state that have felt the squeeze because Governor Corbett has chose to favor the gas drillers that are owned by, these companies are owned by interests that are foreign to Pennsylvania. And because he has supported them, and because my opponent has supported those Corbett budgets, we've instead shifted that burden to college students, kindergartners, and civilian workers across the state. I know that I can do a much better job for the people of the 29th Senate District than Dave Argel. Dave Argel is the man that wrote the pay raise in 2005, went around whipping up the votes to make sure that that bill got passed. In contrast, I've been a champion for people. Before coming to the legislature as a social worker and a caseworker, working with children and families to help others and not myself. Again, I want to thank Congressman Holden and Representative Goodman for the confidence that they've put in me, and I thank them for their endorsement today. And certainly I thank all of you for being the good citizens that you are, the people that pay attention and invest your time and energy to electing good leaders in Pennsylvania. Thank you all for being here.